Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Neha, and I am the Business Development Manager at TEBS Australia. I would like to extend a warm welcome to all of you, and we appreciate you taking your time off your schedule to join us today and to learn about AI-infused procurement trends. We'll hope you'll find the session fruitful and engaging. I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today. I would also like to the elders past emerging. Now, let me start by sharing today's agenda. We will share about the AI trends and economic shifts reshaping Australian businesses, followed by a demo of AI enhanced procure to pay process. And we will conclude this webinar with Q&A. Some housekeeping rules. All the participants will be muted and your cameras will be turned off. Please submit your questions using Q&A function on your webinar screen. This session will be recorded and will be shared with all of you. Lastly, if your connection stops, just log off, log in, and you'll be in the webinar room once again. Please allow me to introduce our speakers for today. We have Soju Skaria, Country Director, Australia. He's based in Melbourne and he takes care of companies' business in the region, helping our customers in their digital now to next journey. Also joining us is Shruti Bedekar, our techno-functional consultant. Shruti has been in consulting for more than a decade now and has successfully developed several automation projects. Now, let me take a few minutes and introduce who we are and how we are helping our customers in their digital next journey. We currently serve over 150 clients through a strong team of 400 plus professionals. Over the past 2 decades, we have successfully delivered more than 1,000 projects. Our global presence include offices in Australia, Malaysia, India, Indonesia, Thailand, UAE, as well as our headquarters in Singapore. We are a Microsoft managed partner and have built competencies around data and AI, business application, infrastructure, and other key solution areas. We have won the Microsoft Partner of the Year award 8 times, with the most recent one in 2024 for the government and not-for-profit industries. Apart from that, we have been recognized by Gartner and Forrester for the solutions that we have provided to our customers. We offer comprehensive services in the areas of automation, artificial intelligence, business application, cloud and security, data and analytics, digital workplace, application engineering, application managed services, and advisory services. If you would like to know about any of these, please feel free to drop us a message and we'll be happy to arrange a session. Now, without further delay, let me hand over to our first speaker, Soju Skaria, to share latest AI trends and economic shifts in Australia. Over to you, Soju.
Thank you, Neha. Please give me a moment to share my screen. Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, a warm welcome to all of you. And as Neha said, my name is Soju, and I take care of the business for Total EBIS Solutions here in Australia. Today, I will be sharing insights on the latest AI trends and economic shifts in Australia and how they are impacting procurement. So let's dive in. So what are the AI trends that we are seeing in Australia? First, we observe Australian businesses are embracing innovation and navigating change. Companies are recognizing AI's potential and implementing AI-driven solutions to stay competitive. This is driving growth and enabling more innovation. Next, we see automation and efficiency. Businesses are adopting technologies to automate routine tasks, streamline operations, reduce human workers to focus on strategic activities, And AI-powered software robots and AI agents are enhancing productivity and the quality of outputs. Another trend is in data-driven decision making. AI-driven analytics are helping Australian businesses make timely data-driven decisions. By analyzing data to understand market trends, customer preferences, and operational inefficiencies, companies can make informed decisions, drive growth, and stay competitive. Predictive analytics based on data enables businesses to anticipate future needs and be prepared to meet upcoming challenges. AI is also revolutionizing personalization and customer experience. Australian companies use AI to analyze customer data, offering tailored recommendations and marketing strategies. This enhances customer experience, drives loyalty, boosts sales, and improves brand value. Leading the AI storm is the Gen AI revolution. Most of us have used ChatGPT, Copilot, or even the latest DeepSeek in some form or shape. We are seeing more flavors of generative AI systems and the associated agentic AI coming into the market within a short span of time. And these trends are likely to continue even further. Such innovations will have a significant impact on transforming businesses in the days ahead. However, with great power comes great responsibility, and as AI becomes more widespread, ethical considerations and governance are crucial. Australian businesses need to emphasize responsible AI deployment and focus on transparency, fairness, and accountability. So, what are some of the economic shifts we are seeing that affect Australian businesses? First, let's talk about global trade dynamics. We live in an age where trade tensions, changing geopolitics, new administrations, and global uncertainties are influencing market access and supply chain strategies. As a result, Australian companies are diversifying markets and re-evaluating trade relationships. Next, digital transformation has been reshaping industries here. The COVID-19 pandemic has accelerated digital adoption, prompting companies to invest more in digital infrastructure. This digitalization has helped enhance operations, engage customers, and drive innovation. Another factor to consider is sustainability and green economy. Economy shifts towards the green economy are pushing our companies to adopt sustainable practices. Consumers are demanding eco-friendly products, driving businesses to integrate sustainability into their strategies. Renewable energy, circular economy models, and sustainable supply chains are the need of the hour in today's business world. Next, let's consider workforce evolution. Remote work, the gig economy, and flexible arrangements are redefining employment models and reshaping the Australian workforce. Businesses are adopting hybrid models to attract and retain talent. Training efforts are focused on building AI and digital age skill sets. Therefore, more investment in innovation has become critical for growth. Australia emphasizes innovation through government initiatives, venture capital, and R&D programs. Startups and tech companies are developing innovative solutions. This collaboration among businesses, academia, and government is driving economic growth. Here's an interesting data point from an IDC survey on AI and Gen AI adoption in 2024. The large deep blue section shows that over 75% of the companies are already using some form of AI, whether it's implemented within the organization or it's being used by individual employees at work. Additionally, generative AI adoption has seen a significant jump, growing from 55% in 2023 to 75% in 2024. This shows that AI-driven business models are swiftly becoming the norm as AI is being incorporated into more and more use cases. So, what are some of the predictions on the future of Gen AI? According to Gartner, by 2025, 80% of the organizations will use generative AI technology to improve agent productivity and customer experience. And by 2028, at least 15% of day-to-day work decisions will be made autonomously through agentic AI, and that's up from 0% in 2024. So how can AI help in the context of procurement? One key area to consider is intelligent automation. Over the years, organizations have increasingly turned to digital technologies to automate their business processes. Automation involves integrating a suite of smart automation technologies. Technologies like natural language processing or NLP, OCR, intelligent document processing, API-based integration, robotic process automation, machine learning models, conversational bots, and Gen AI are all being orchestrated together to achieve intelligent automation. Now, we can use a business process management tool as an orchestrator to streamline the entire business workflow from end to end. And this approach leverages on using all these smart technologies, infusing intelligence into the process, and minimizing manual intervention. So, what are some of the top benefits of using AI in procurement? According to a recent Gartner survey, industry leaders are finding several benefits of integrating AI into the procurement process. These are enhancing productivity by leveraging AI, reducing costs and improving efficiency, enabling businesses to become more agile and quickly adapt to the changing economic conditions, accelerating the digital transformation journey, and lastly, facilitating insights-driven interactions with both internal and external stakeholders. Looking ahead, Gartner's survey indicates that over the next 12 to 18 months, procurement leaders expect a 21% improvement in productivity gains. They expect a 12% increase in cost savings, and they expect 11% increase in revenue over the next 12 to 18 months. These projections highlight the significant impact AI can have on procurement, driving growth and efficiency. So, where can we integrate AI within the procurement value chain? First, let's take supplier selection, for example. Generative AI uses historical data and past interactions to assess supplier risk and reliability. This helps improve supplier quality and diversity, reducing risks and boosting sourcing efficiency. Another great area to leverage AI is in purchase negotiations. By simulating realistic negotiation scenarios and providing real-time data, AI helps to make better negotiation decisions and secure better terms with suppliers. Next, we can integrate AI in the supplier relationship management. Effectively managing suppliers and monitoring their interactions and performance fosters a collaborative and innovative environment. Gen AI enhances this by providing insights that improve communication, build stronger relationships, and increase supplier loyalty. Let's look at some more areas in the value chain where AI can be adopted. Another area is spend analytics. AI can identify patterns and suggest areas where costs can be cut, such as through supplier consolidation or negotiating better terms. By analyzing past history and transactions, AI enables more strategic sourcing. It identifies the best suppliers and creates models to predict the outcomes of sourcing decisions, improving procurement strategies. Next, we can consider contract management. AI can significantly improve the contract management process by allowing for easy retrieval of contract information and providing automated alerts for expiring contracts, for deviations, and more. This enhances efficiency by automating approval workflows and ensuring data accuracy through automated updates from existing contracts. Lastly, let's consider sustainability and ethical sourcing. In managing relationships with numerous suppliers, generative AI helps track sustainability processes and various reports submitted by the suppliers. This supports the overall sustainability goals of the organizations. By integrating these AI elements, particularly generative AI, we can refine and advance the procurement value chain, ensuring cost efficiency, strong supplier relationships, and strategic decision making. Lastly, let's see some success stories from a few Fortune 500 companies and the various AI-driven solutions that they have successfully implemented. One example is smart sourcing, where an AI-powered platform is used to source suppliers, make autonomous supply negotiations, and use AI-driven analytics to optimize procurement strategies. Also, empowering procurement users with a chatbot interface has helped improve their efficiency and effectiveness. Another example is category strategies. With the help of AI, they were able to identify common characteristics across various categories, consolidate them, and thus eliminate human error, inconsistency, and bias. Next, implementing AI is in the RFX process, which includes RFPs and RFQs. And that has helped to streamline the publishing, evaluation, and selection of suppliers based on specific criteria. Another use case is AI-infused contract and lifecycle management. This enhances overall contract management process, reducing the turnaround time and making the entire cycle more efficient and accurate. These success stories demonstrate the transformative power of AI in procurement. By integrating these AI-driven solutions, companies are not only improving efficiency and decision making, but also driving innovation and staying competitive in a rapidly changing market. These are some of the use cases you may consider in your AI and digital transformation journey. Thank you so much for your attention. With that, I'll hand over to Shruti, a procurement and AI consultant. She'll walk you through a demo on the AI-infused purchase requisition and purchase order process. Over to you, Shruti.
Hello all, let me start by sharing my screen. All right. Thanks, Soju, for introducing us to the world of AI-infused procurement process. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Shruti, and today I take pleasure to walk you through our procurement process, the framework, which is AI-infused, and also give you all a short demo on various aspects of these AI. All right. So we know that procurement process is never one size fits all. Every organization has different procurement process. But on a high level, we can definitely design the procurement process falling under these steps. First of all, the user will definitely have a product catalog to refer to. This product catalog will typically be linked to your ERP system or into our system where the entire product history and specifications are saved. Using this product catalog, the user is able to decide whether to raise a purchase request or no. Raising the purchase request is made very easy and efficient in our system by inputting correct information, digital information, which is required for the approvers to approve it. Once the approvals are in place, the requester invites different vendors for quotation. Now, again, these vendors can be in my database already, which is in our system, or they can be linked to any other ERP system. Once the vendor quotations are received, there is a typical cycle of vendor evaluation basis different criteria like estimated value, etc. And finally, on the vendor selection, there is a generation of letter of award, which is eventually also the contract document, which will have all the milestones for payment as well as deliveries. This particular step will also generate a further purchase order creation. Purchase order creation is again linked to, say, ERP, or it can be handled efficiently in our framework itself to denote a certain number for the purchase order. Once purchase orders are created, the user at any point has the liberty of requesting for specific goods and services from the vendor which is selected. Finally, after a three-way match and the verification of goods, this particular request is forwarded to the payment department. Moving forward, we have seen that typically the procurement process will have, if it is not digitized, will have lot of vague specifications and requirements. So, in lack of a standard format to input the data, the specifications are with error, and that's the error data which is flowing into the system. There is also a possibility of not tracking these certain deadlines, which are meant for, say, approvals or certain submissions. Now, this is happening because none of our data is in a structured manner and into a system. Most of the data is lying into different sources like emails or personal chats or even via face to face conversations. And it's also a collaborative work where number of users or number of people in the organization are working together. All these leads to a mismatched expectations. So the data which is flowing in to raise the purchase request, as well as the approvals and the final submission of what the purchase request was, is not correctly formulated and given to the vendor. So of course, in the waterfall model, it will also lead to have a mismatched delivery. And all this leads to insufficient data for decision making for the future. Now let's see what digitization can bring onto the plateau. First of all, when we bring this system or the purchase request form on the system, it is in a structured manner. It will have defined formats and defined fields to input. Definitely, it will have a multi-route workflow. So for example, if the request is either single level or multiple level, the workflow is going to adapt, the system is going to adapt to that workflow. Plus, there are a number of integrations that are possible with the ERP system as well as other systems if it exists in the organization. Real-time dashboards can be generated based on this data which is captured in the system. Lastly, contract management and compliance is enabled because everything is into the system. Every action that the user is taking is recorded in the system and is very useful for the audit trail. Last but not the least, because we are going into digitization, this particular system will be AI enabled. Now let's see what AI enabled digitization can get for me. This particular AI can be useful to different users. For today's demo, I shall be focusing on assistant to the requester and assistant to the manager. So that means the same AI infusion is having a multiple role. AI can be something which is useful for the requester and also to the approver or to the admins. Now let's see how. When it comes to assistant to the requester, the system via AI enablement can have a purchase request replication and also vendor selection or evaluation. For the manager, there are a number of KPIs and number of tasks which are key. So the vendor negotiations, having a detailed budget analysis, expense analysis, and to forecast the demand for coming year. And lastly, intelligent document processing are few of the areas where AI can be infused. At this point, I would allow myself to go on to our system and showcase a few of examples on the AI infusion. I'm sharing my screen. All right. So before having a look at the AI-infused P2P, let's understand how the AI and Copilot works using prompt engineering. Prompts are nothing but instructions or queries that the user either types or instructs or speaks to the Copilot. So when I give a good prompt to the Copilot, the result is accurate and useful response. But if I'm giving a very vague or a complex prompt to the Copilot, of course, the result is also going to be poor or irrelevant. Hence, it is very important to write good prompts by training yourself as well as training the AI engine. In today's demo, I shall be also showing how to train the AI engine by simple clicks. Now let's understand the stage by understanding our procurement to pay process first. So on the left hand side, this panel is what I see are the different modules listed in my system, which have a role based access. So if it is a requester, a basic user, a head of department, or an administrator, the framework will be able to adapt to your role and showcase only those modules which are accessible or for which you are authorized to access. In the center panel over here is the list of the various purchase requests which the users have created into the system, and they can be viewed basis various status and who has raised it. If I enter the purchase request, each purchase request has a workflow on the top, which will show me who is the person responsible to take the action, for how many days this particular request has been at a certain stage, and what are my next steps for this. So that way I'm able to track into my system each and every purchase request. On the right hand side over here is the hero of our system, that is the Copilot, which is actually enabling the AI infusion in this process. Now let's look at the first scenario of replicating a purchase request. A purchasing department of any organization raises number of procurement requests. Over the period of time, the database is very voluminous, and we need to utilize technology to effectively make some decisions. Now let's consider a user who wants to raise a purchase request for item, say laptop. Maybe it's his first time, or maybe he doesn't have enough time to gather details for the purchase request. So in that case, what should be his starting point to raise a PR or raise a purchase request? In such case, Copilot can help. Let's prompt to the Copilot in providing me a reference for a purchase request for the same item laptop, and then we can replicate some details and submit it as a fresh purchase request. Now I shall be typing the prompt on the right hand side of the screen. All right. So what I have prompted to the Copilot is provide me a PRF number with a quotation for laptop. So it has looked into the database and given me a whole list of purchase requests, say 24, which are in my database and which were for laptop. By clicking on any of these, I shall be able to see how this purchase request was created before. Why was it specifically successful? Who were the suppliers this was given to? And for replicating all this information, all I have to do is click on a button called as clone, which is at the top of the system. By clicking on clone, I am replicating all this information into a new number and avoiding the hassles of putting incorrect data, or rather using something which is already in my system and has been a success in the past. So here you go. This PRF was created basis what earlier was a success for the same item laptop. Now let's consider another scenario where the user has a purchase request which is already approved, and this needs to publish this purchase request needs to be published for inviting quotations. With the help of Copilot, the user can receive the list of vendors who have a very favorable or a positive feedback in the system. Now let me prompt to the Copilot and see how this works. All right. So right now I have prompted to the Copilot asking which is the vendor who has specialization in laptop. And from my database, it has given me two specific vendors which are saying from the past experience, which we know are specialized in providing laptops. Now let me add on to this particular prompt. I say vendor with overall rating 5. So at this point, I am not specializing on the product that I'm looking for, but I am looking into the overall rating and then asking the Copilot, which are these vendors? So again, I got a list of say 2 vendors, okay, which are having a very favorable or a high rating in my system. Now let's try and combine both these prompts and see how the Copilot is working. All right. So at this time, what I've done is I've asked that the vendor should be a specialist in providing laptops and overall rating 5. So this clearly tells me that there is no such vendor because the vendors which are there for laptop provision do not have the rating of 5 and they have probably a different rating. So I would go and try here as 4. So this way, Copilot is able to give me different variations depending on what I prompt, and these can be considered for decision making and publishing of the code. Now let's consider the next step. Let's imagine that user has received the number of quotations from multiple vendors and now has a crucial task of vendor selection at hand. Our system maintains a vendor database which auto-generates these scores basis various feedback points, the promptness of the vendor, the quality, the reliability, as well as the reputation of the vendor, which is in the public domain. Now, let me take a purchase request which already has some received quotations, say PRF 1063. As you see, I have a tab called as submitted quotes over here, in which there are 2 specific vendors who have already submitted their quotes with certain amounts. Now I can use my AI recommendation engine to give me amongst these who is the correct vendor which can be selected. Now, in reality, you might not be restricted with just simply 2 vendors. In reality, you might have a long list over here who has submitted this. So in such scenarios, the vendor recommendation really helps. So let me start by enabling the AI recommendation over here by clicking this button. And I'm able to put an evaluation criteria for selection of vendor. So let's say lowest vendor quote for this ERF. And I prompt the AI recommendation engine. So at this point, the AI engine is looking into this particular list and finding out which is the lowest quote for this particular purchase request. All right. As you see on the screen, I have been prompted for a certain quotation and with some extra information on why this particular vendor has been selected. Let me also see if I change the evaluation criteria, what is that I received? Let's allow a couple of minutes for the system to look into the database. All right, as you see on the screen, my vendor recommendation has changed when I change the prompt from the lowest to the best quote. The reason being when it is the lowest quote, it is only focusing on the total amount. But when it's the best quote, it is looking into number of combinations of the amount as well as the overall rating which our system is maintaining at this point of time. All right, now let's look into some more scenarios going forward from here. Let's One of the key KPIs for any procurement head is to bring down the expenses without compromising the quality of goods and services received. The key element for this is vendor price negotiation. as a second level approver or somebody who has a view for of department agnostic, I can actually look into various purchase requests, not just coming from one department, but number of units in my organization. Now let's prompt to the copilot to list down all the requests which are not yet awarded, are still in evaluation phase for a certain product, again say laptop. So I shall prompt over here. So at this point, what Copilot is doing is entering the database, finding out all the purchase requests which are for laptop and which are not yet awarded. So it just gives me the values, but they are department agnostic. So they can be coming from number of departments. So here you go. This is the summary that I have received from Copilot saying you have 4 PRF with the status pending for evaluation, and it has given me also the estimated value depending on the number of quotes for each of them. Now, when I click on this, I can see a view where all these 4 purchase requests are put together. Now, as how does this benefit the organization? What I can do over here is I can actually select these purchase requests and consolidate into one. So let's say that each of the purchase requests coming from different department has a different unit value to it. What I can do is combine them, create one purchase request, and negotiate a price or a bulk price with the particular vendor which I want to select. So all I have to do is click these purchase request and click on consolidate. That way, all of these are routed as one purchase request and of course gives me a leverage to negotiate with the vendor. All right. For more such negotiation avenues, the approver may also want to find out how much of business the organization is given to a specific vendor. So that also tells me that this vendor has been the preferred vendor for a certain item, and I would want to establish a long-term relationship with this vendor as a bucket approval. So now let's see what kind of prompt I can give here to the Copilot. All right. So at this point of time, what the system is doing is entering into my old database, finding out that for this specific supplier or vendor, how much of business did I give in the past? If it is something which is very valuable, significant, I can strike a negotiation with this vendor saying, hey, going forward, you will be my preferred vendor, premium vendor for a certain object or item called laptop, and you negotiate a bulk price or you negotiate a long-term fixed price for such items. So this is how Copilot is helping me. It has said that you have 5 PRF or 5 requests with status awarded for so and so vendor, and this is the amount for it, and these are the numbers for it. So this is how Copilot can help me dig into the data and find out how I can negotiate with different avenues. Now, also let's look at some more things which are useful for an approver within the organization. Let's take example of budget analysis. Each department has budgets assigned to them for pre-approved goods and services. Let's imagine a scenario where at the end of financial year, the department head wants to analyze the budget bucket, which one was in demand, which one was not. If that's the reason, the approver or the head of department can actually dig into the reasons of why a certain budget code was not utilized well. So now let's prompt to the Copilot on such a request. So I say, give me one budget code with least utilized amount. All right. So again, because we have maintained budget module or budget codes into our system, Copilot is able to dig into our database and find out which was the particular budget code which was least utilized in last year. So it has given me a specific name saying so and so budget code was not utilized and it has so much of amount which is still pending. I can also tweak this particular prompt to tell me which was the most utilized budget code. So this way, for the coming year, I can actually forecast or I can anticipate how much of budget should be going for this particular code, and that way reduce the errors that can be coming in for the approvals. Now let's look into another scenario. Where the approver, as an approver, I want to forecast which goods or services was in most demand. So let's say in our system, we are maintaining not just goods, but also services, catering services, or even licenses. So there are, it's also meant for soft products like licenses, etc. And you come to know whether in which month of the year certain licenses are expiring, and I will be needing a contract to renew them. So let me now prompt to the copilot asking for this value. All right. So now what it will do is give me a consolidated value of all the contracts or all the awarded purchase request into my system. And this value will tell me, oh, this is the amount that I spent last year on procuring this particular item, cutting across all the PRF and not just related to certain department. I can also actually tweak this particular prompt by saying, not just asking for the total, but asking for rest of the details. So if I simply mention PRF value for laptop with status awarded in quotes, it can give out to me what are the different contracts which were signed last year for the laptop. So another way of training our copilot is every time it gives me a correct answer or every time it shows me a relevant information, all I have to do is click on this useful or not useful symbol. That way, I am training the bot, I'm training the copilot that this is what is correct way of entering my database and giving me the values. Now, coming to the last but not the least of our scenarios today, let's understand how document processing can be handled into our system. We have seen that for the entire P2P process, there are a number of documents at each step. It can be RFI, RFQ, PR, PO, or even GRN and invoices. Now, these documents can fairly be assumed in different non-standard formats because they are coming from different suppliers, but they hold very crucial information for decision making. Now, IDP in the purchasing organization can help populate relevant information from these various documents and put it in a structured manner or a structured template which can further be used for, say, approvals, payments, vendor selections, all these crucial decision makings. IDP leverages AI to do so and uses specialized parsers with advanced OCR and computer vision along with NLP. Now, with this IDP, there is an extended utilization, which is actually a reverse to populate relevant information into, say, another document or a contract document, which can downstream further to the vendor for e-signing. So in our system, how this works is if there is a purchase request which is awarded to a certain vendor, on clicking of a simple button, say generate the contract, a PDF file is generated and all the data is taken from the system itself because it is available digital in our system. And this template or this document is shared to the vendor as a contract document for e-signing. So thus, all we achieve hassle-free documentation and also adhering to compliance with the use of such facility. Coming back to just summarize the benefits of our AI-infused P2P. As we see, because everything is digital and Copilot helps me find out the correct information, there is a faster decision making. Of course, there is a 24/7 availability, and it also automates a lot of repetitive tasks, as we saw during cloning of the purchase request. It also digs into pattern identification and insights. That's how Copilot told us about various values which are key to me. And lastly, the chatbots and voice bots can be used for information mining. With this, I hope you all have had a good look into our system and also visualize how AI infusion procurement workflow can actually work. We now transition to our next segment of this webinar. Over to you, Neha.
Thank you, Shruti, and thank you for the insightful demo. Uh, I think we have got a couple of questions. So can I invite Soju? Yeah. Yes. So as part of our last segment of the hour, um, let me ask the questions that we have with us. So maybe first one, Soju, you can answer. And the question is, how do NLP, OCR, and computer vision help streamline procurement processes?
Okay, thank you, Neha. So, looking at NLP, OCR, and computer vision, these are technologies which are enabling procurement processes to be automated. So we can streamline the procurement process and improve the accuracy. So NLP, or natural language processing, helps in analyzing and extracting information from procurement documents. It can improve the supplier communication and also help in managing contracts. OCR converts paper-based documents by scanning the documents into the digital format, extracting data from documents, and it reduces the manual data entry errors and speeds up invoice processing. And computer vision aids in quality checks, inventory management, and fraud detection by analyzing images and identifying any anomalies. Together, these technologies can help in improving the efficiency, accuracy, and can allow the procurement professionals to focus on strategic activities. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Soju, for the reply. Next question is for Shruti, maybe. What are some of the practical examples of AI-driven supplier risk assessment? So, Shruti, would you like to
Sure,
take
yeah,
this?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So again, a good question, and it relates a lot to what I just demo right now. So using Copilot, which is of course AI based, we are able to dig into the data and understand the supplier risk. So this again in our system is culminating into a numerical value of overall feedback, or which is coming from different experiences with the vendor. But apart from just numerical value, what Copilot can actually do is look into the public domain as well and find out what is the overall feedback or the sentiments behind a specific vendor or supplier, and then give a response which is more of a consolidation to the user saying, this is the risk or this is the experience with the specific supplier, and maybe it is recommended or not recommended. So that way we are able to understand the credibility of the supplier in terms of deliverables, the quality of the deliverables, the pricing, etc. I hope it answers the question.
Yeah, thank you, Shruti. And in case, anybody wants to have a follow-up question or discuss more about the same question, please feel free to drop us in Q&A segment. Next question is, what steps can procurement teams take to enhance business agility using AI? Soju, can I direct that question to you?
Sure, Neha. Okay. So procurement teams, definitely AI can be a help to enhance the business agility by several ways. First, AI-powered tools can be used for data analysis and predictive analysis. So because of that, you can make faster and data-driven decisions based on market trends, supply performance, and demand forecasts. So AI-driven automation can streamline routine tasks like invoice processing, purchase order management, and supply communications. So this frees up time for more value-added activities for the user. So this enables the business to be more agile and respond faster to the market. Additionally, AI can help identify potential risks or disruptions in the supply chain by analyzing historical data and provides early warnings, enabling teams to take proactive measures. So, by fostering collaboration with AI-enabled systems, procurement teams can respond more flexibility to changing market conditions, and thus they can improve their ability to quickly adapt to evolving business requirements and be agile.
Yeah, thank you for the answer, Soju. But let me direct another question to you. And the question is, what are the top benefits of intelligent document processing for procurement?
So, intelligent document processing offers several key benefits for procurement. By automating the extraction, classification, analysis of data from documents like invoices, purchase orders, and contracts. So it enhances efficiency by reducing manual data entries and errors, speeds up the document processing and approval workflows. So intelligent document processing improves accuracy in data extraction, ensuring consistency and compliance with procurement standards. By automating repetitive tasks, it allows procurement teams to focus on more strategic activities. Additionally, IDP or intelligent document process can enhance the visibility into the procurement operations and provide real-time insights and analytics that can help in better decision making. Ultimately, it can reduce costs and improve supplier relationships. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Soju, for the answer. And the last question, let me ask Shruti if Shruti can answer. So the question is, can AI-driven insights improve contract workflows and negotiation outcomes?
Okay, of course. So again, a good question and relates thoroughly to what I was just demoing in our different scenarios. As we see, the negotiation outcomes, we Copilot or AI-driven engine can provide me number of leverages or windows to go and negotiate with the specific supplier or with a group of suppliers. So, basis the data, empirical data is what these negotiations can be achieved, and they are not baseless. So, the data is the key to it, and what Copilot is doing is looking into this data and giving me those avenues. Contract workflows also, because that entire process is automated on the generation of the contracts and going through a contract life cycle. It can also establish a proper workflow in terms of the payment deliverables and the milestone deliverables. So that way, the entire tracking is done into the system and can be managed by the system itself.
Thank you, Shruti. I think these were all the questions that we have today. And thank you for your time. But let me also say that, the conversation doesn't stop here. So if you have any more questions or you want to have, dedicated session with Shruti and Soju to discuss about your use cases, please scan the QR code on your screen. And if you have any questions, any feedback, we'd love to hear that. Please scan the QR code. Please feel free to reach out to us. The coordinates are there on the screen. And once again, thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you soon in the near future. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you all. Bye.